Hey guys, Anfield here. Welcome to another position lab. This time, as you can see, it is Karelia, and it is a tank destroyer, but it's not the 268, it's the Foch. Also, you might have noticed that it is from the other side of the map. This is the south spawn. So what I'm going to show you here actually depends on the team listing. What I notice immediately is that there's only one enemy tank destroyer, and that's the 183. Wow. Nothing to be underestimated, but it does give me some kind of idea about where I want to go. Now, a lot of maps I will, when I get my spawn, obviously depending on what tank I'll run a sort of algorithm in my head, and that'll kind of designate where I'm going to go right off the bat. And that's just dependent on what tank I'm driving, what side I'm on, what map it is, obviously, and what the enemy tanks have, and what our ally tanks have. When I look at that team listing and I kind of get an idea of where people are going right off the bat, that's how I decide where I'm going to go, and depending on that, I'll make a decision. Now, the 183 camo isn't that good. He's also got a really slow reload and a pretty inaccurate gun. So, I'm going to take a chance and say that he's not going to really bother me too much. And I'm going to go to the position that Foch was in the 268 game I showed you from the opposite spawn. I'm going to go to that position because I know there's no real enemies that are going to sit there and alpha me down with a huge gun. So I'm going to go to this position. Now, it's a great position depending on what the enemy has, as I said, and it can be exploited by the position I had with my 268, so you just need to be really careful of that. So my first shot on a T-54, there's no point me shooting him again. I aim at this IS-3, no damage track, yay. So I'm actually going to go for this E100 now, which is definitely a better target, and I do hit him. And then I pull back to reload. So 2 out of 3, typical Foch stuff. You rarely really get all 3 shots off. Sometimes you do, but when you're firing at long distances, yeah. Now, as you can see here, this T-34 has decided to take this spot. I don't know why. He's not even doing it correctly. And the other problem for me is it's not just that he's one of my allies that is just killing himself. He's also killing himself in the spot I need. As you can see, he's going back again, and he's trying, and I don't get it. It's giving me a mental aneurysm. I just want to punch him through the screen, but there's nothing I can do about it. I keep trying to type to him, and down he goes in my spot. Yay! So I'm looking at him and I'm kind of thinking, well, I'm gonna have to try and use him as cover as if he was the mountain. So I'm kind of, as you can see here, I'm kind of trying to figure it out. It's not easy, and it also means I have to expose myself a lot more, but I'm gonna have to make it work. So as you can see here, I'm just firing AP into that E100's turret because he's not angling his turret whatsoever, and all day long I'm going to punish that. And as you see, that time all 3 shots landed and hit their target. I did have a much bigger target, but the E100 in chat says LOL Foch. Well, I have time to reload, so I'm just gonna be a little bit facetious because I'm reloading. I've got nothing better to do. Most of the time while I'm in my Foch, if I'm in a safe position while I'm reloading, I just go form browse. It's like a 48-second reload. So anyway, so I'm doing okay so far. I'm just watching the north, and I see that they've got an IS-7 and a T-62A up there, but I also see what we have up there. A T-57 and a 183 are still in base, and IS-4 is up there. It looks okay to me. My gun is definitely still needed down here. So I'm still being facetious to this guy. A little bit mean, I guess, but I got nothing better to do. IS-3 just came out, God knows why. I really like to know what goes through these guys' heads. Anyway, the 183, as you can see, is still there, but he's not going to be a threat to me. I'm never going to let him aim in at me, and he's not camoed up, so he's not a threat that way. So I just nailed the E100 again, which is a good shot. He's now figured out how to angle his turret. Well, I guess it was the other one that wasn't angling, but this guy kind of wasn't either. So I'm just being real patient. I've got 2 shots left, and I'm just sort of contemplating. I could have shot earlier, but he gave me an opportunity to shoot him again, so I just waited. And a lot of the times with the Foch, it is better to be patient. In that case, I just run the shot out. There is a good reason for it. The E-100 was dead. I had 1 shot left. I figured, you know what, I might as well go for it and then just force a reload. I'm never going to run out of shells. This game is ending too quickly, so I don't have to worry about that. And I was going to force a reload anyway, so I figured I might as well take this shot. And if I got really lucky, then you don't want to sit on you don't want to sit on 1 shot for too long with the Foch. It is better to have at least 2. 3 is obviously preferable, but don't sit on 1 shot for too long. But you can be patient with 2 and wait for shots to appear. But with, you know, just the 1 shot. So here I come by, and kind of looking for that 183. I see him. I've got better camo than he does. Obviously I sat in that bush right there just to get that shot specifically off. So I'm just going to speed this up now because obviously I'm just assaulting. This 183 I shoot first, and I figure, oh, he's going to die because I have mediums with me. Well, the mediums take about an hour to kill him. He kills my driver and my gunner. I'm not too pleased with how slow the mediums took to kill him. Because I just shot him once and figured, well, he's going to die by those 2 mediums that are with me. Well, again, relying on puppies is not always the best idea. So it's a pretty decent game, 6,700. It's not like excessive or anything, but a pretty average game for my Foch. Well, technically it's not. 4,200 will be average for my Foch, but you get what I'm saying. So it's a good game. I got to use the spot. Again, depending on the enemy team lineup, I would have been way more careful. But, you know, you always look at the enemies and see what do they have and what are they likely to do. But again, I was able to do area denial because of my speed on the mediums that try to get to the hill. Obviously I got the shot on the T-54, and then I got shots after that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, just be careful when you're using spots like that because it can be dangerous, and especially if the enemy's got good aim or the enemy artillery knows how to hit that spot, you gotta be really careful. In this case, they just have a 1 tier 8 arty, and the M40 is not really as good as it used to be when it was a tier 7 arty. So I wasn't too worried about him, although artillery really can nail Foches for a lot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this anyway. And yeah, there should be more position labs coming up, and I'll try and get more heavy tanks and things like that because that's one of the ones I haven't done, and also medium tanks. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and leave any suggestions. Thanks.